Welcome to Chapter 3, Section 5, Dividing Polynomials. So we're going to start with using long division to divide polynomials. And this is probably something that you are already familiar with from, maybe grade school or elementary or middle school. I can't quite remember, but it's the division you guys learned a long time ago where you still had remainders. And then later you learn to turn those remainders into fractions. So we can actually do that kind of division with a polynomial. So we're going to start with this one. So the first thing I am going to point out is that they are in decreasing order of powers. So that means that if they were switched, I would have to put the powers in order for this to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this first one and now this one first. And I'm going to say, what would I need to multiply x by in order to get 2x cubed? And I would need to multiply it by 2x squared. So now I multiply 2x squared into x plus 2, subtract it, so I get 2x cubed plus 4x squared. This is going to turn into a negative, so I'm going to have negative 7x squared plus 4x plus 5. Now I'm going to look at this term. What do I need to multiply x by to get negative 7x squared? I need to multiply it by a negative 7x. So that's going to give me, when I multiply that term out to the x plus 2, that is going to give me negative 7x squared minus 14x. And I'm going to get positives when I distribute that subtraction sign. So that's going to give me 18x plus 5. And now what do I need to multiply x by to get 18x? I just need to multiply it by 18. So now I'm going to distribute that out through the x plus 2, and that's going to be minus 18x plus 36. This is going to become a subtraction, and it will be negative 31. So our remainder is negative 31 over x plus 2. So now, if we look at the division algorithm, what this tells me, our f of x is this original one. So that's going to be 2x3 minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5 is equal to d is the divisor. So that's x plus 2. Q is the quotient, which is what we get up here. 2x squared minus 7x plus 18. And then Rx is our remainder, which is the minus 31 over x plus 2. This is dx. This is qx. And this is Rx. Okay. So notice that the remainder will be less than the degree of the divisor. So the degree of x plus 2 is 1. And notice that our remainder was negative 31 over x plus 2, which is much less than a degree 1. Okay. So one important thing to make note of is if the remainder is 0, then d of x and q of x are factors of our original polynomial. So what that means is if I have no remainder, then these two are both factors, and they go in evenly. This can also be seen in numbers, like 10. If you were to divide it by one of its factors, 5, you would get 2. There would be no remainder. That's what is meant. Now synthetic division, we'll go over that. Synthetic division is a shortcut where we use just the leading coefficients, but we have to be dividing by something of the form x plus or minus a. And it can't be 4x plus or minus a. It just got to be a lone x plus or minus a. Like these. Okay, so we're going to set this up. And this one's going to look kind of weird. So, we're going to write, notice we have x plus 2. We need to divide it by that particular root. So we're going to divide it by negative 2. So we're going to get negative 2. And now we write the coefficients. So that's going to be 4, 10, negative 6, negative 20. And notice you do also need to have this arranged by your powers. So we're going to bring this down. And we are going to multiply it by our negative 2. That's going to give us negative 8. And now I'm going to add those. And that's going to give me 2. Because 10 minus 8 is 2. And then I'm going to multiply that 2 by this negative 2 again, and I'm going to get negative 4. Now I'm going to add those, and that gives me negative 10. I'm going to multiply that by the negative 2 again, and I'm going to get 20. I'm going to add those, and I get 0. So if I needed to put this back into some type of polynomial, I know that this was x cubed, this is x squared, this is x, and this is just c, our random dangling numbers on the end. So now we are going to have this is x squared, this is x, and this is c, which means we will get, so this is f of x, is equal to x plus 2 times 4x squared plus 2x minus 10. And notice this last one's our remainder. Our remainder is 0. So that means that x plus 2 is a factor of our original polynomial. And this is how we'd write something without a factor. Of course, we can further continue to divide that, but that's not the point of this problem. It's just to show you synthetic division. So now we are going to do this one. So we're going to divide by negative 7. We will have 3, 18. Notice how it skips a power. So there is no x squared, right? I'm just going to put 0 as my coefficient. And then I'm going to have negative 3 and 40. So I'm going to bring this down to be 3. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. And this is negative 3. 18 minus 21 is negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 7 is 21. 21 plus nothing is 21. 7 times 21 is 147. Negative 147. This is negative, yeah, negative 150. And man, negative 150 times negative 7. That one I'm going to actually pull out my calculator. And that is positive 1050. And that gives us 1090. So this tells us that f of x is equal to, let me see, if it started with x4, it's now going to start with x cubed. So it will be x plus 7 times 3x cubed minus 3x squared plus 21x minus 150 plus 1090 over x plus 7. So now we can use this to solve problems. So the area of a rectangle is given by 3x cubed plus 14x squared minus 23x plus 6. The width of the rectangle is x plus 6. And we need to find an expression for the length. Well, if area equals length times width, then length is going to equal area divided by width, which is going to be 3x cubed plus 14x squared minus 23x plus 6, all divided by x plus 6. Now, since it is a factor of the form x plus or minus a on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and use synthetic division. So I'm going to divide by negative 6. We've got 3, 14, negative 23, and 6. Guess I don't need it that long. So that's 6, 12, 18. So that's negative 18. This is going to equal negative 4. Right? Pretty sure. And then 6 times 4 is 24. Positive 24 since they're both negative. And this will add to 1. And then we have negative 6 is 0. We started at x3, so we will be at x squared. Oh, our remainder is 0, which is good, so it goes in evenly. That's always nice. So the length is going to be 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. That is the formula for the length. All right. So we will do an example. We'll do 25 today. So 25, we have to use long division. Notice we don't have any gaps, so we don't have to leave any zero coefficients. So I need to multiply x by x squared to get x cubed. So that's x cubed minus 2x squared. This will become positive. They go away also. And I'm left with 4x plus 4. So now what do I need to multiply x by to equal 4x? Well, that's just 4. So that's going to be 4x minus 8. This will become positive, and that is 12. So the quotient is x squared plus 4, and the remainder was 12. 12 over x minus 2. So here we have 27. We are going to use synthetic division to find the quotient. If it ends up being a factor, then we need to write it in factored form. So this is number 27. Since it's x plus 3, we're going to be using negative 3. We're going to write our coefficients. Okay, now I'm going to multiply that. So that's negative 3, and that's going to give me negative 5. This gives me 15 when I'm multiplying negative 5 by negative 3. Then I have 20. It's negative 60 gives me negative 61. So is it a factor? The remainder is not 0, so no, it is not a factor. So if we started at x cubed, we would start now at x squared. This would be x and this would be c. So the quotient would be x squared minus 5x plus 20. Now let's look at number 29. We are going to have, I'll divide everything by negative 4. Our coefficients are 2, 6, negative 11, and negative 12. I'm going to bring this down, and that gives us negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. This gives us negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. This gives us negative 3. And this is positive 12, which gives us 0. Our remainder is 0. It is a factor. So if we started at x cubed, we're now going to start at x squared. So our quotient is going to be 2x squared minus 2x minus 3. Now, since it is a factor, we're going to write the factored form. And that is going to be x plus 4, 2x squared minus 2x minus 3. All right, that was chapter 3, unit 5, and I will see you in the next one.